What's the matter?
Y'all, did she just throw the wrapper?
I did. I threw the whole thing in there because I like to get every little piece of butter. You see, it's butter still on there, right? Don't do what I do, y'all. Okay? I mean, not this. You can melt the butter, but don't do this if you don't want to. It's kind of like, look, don't play with me. Y'all know, my husband's laughing at me. Let me tell y'all something. You know how when you make spaghetti, and if you use dry spaghetti or any type of pasta sauce, y'all put a little water in there and whisk it around and throw it in there. Same difference. This is what this is. I'm melting all the butter. I want all my money in there. Every little penny. Kerrygold is expensive, but it's worth it. Okay, it's herb butter. Okay, so they do the work for you, and it's good. So I'm gonna let the butter melt. See, it's almost gone. Look, I'm gonna just let it melt a little bit in there. Then I'm gonna pull the paper out. Okay, y'all saw right. I threw the whole thing, and I sure did. But there's a reason for it. It's a mess. Shalom, y'all. Welcome back to our Happy Hebrew family, or for those of you that are new, welcome. Before we get started, let me just say thank you for tuning in to our channel. We appreciate all of you stopping by. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and tap the bell so that you're notified every time we post a video. Today, though, today, I am cooking. I'm trying to get back into my rhythm. This is one of the things I used to do a lot when we first started this channel. And a little backstory of the reason why I used to cook so much. Well, first of all, I love to cook. Okay, it's a passion of mine. It's been a passion of mine. But even more than that, we do eat biblically kosher. For those of you that don't know what biblically kosher is basically we eat according to what the Bible says is permissible for us to eat. So we don't eat swine, pork. We don't eat bottom dwellers. We don't eat things that are not permissible in the Bible. So if you want to know more about that, just comment below and let me know, and we'll do a separate video all about biblically kosher. Right, babe? Baby's behind the camera as per usual. So today what we're making is beer can chicken, but I'm not going to do it on the grill. I'm going to do it in the oven. And you can do it on a grill, but in this particular situation, because we're nearing fall, so I'm trying to give y'all some fall-like recipes, right? But right now we're in Alabama, and it's cool in the house, but it's hot as Hades outside. Okay, it's like 90 something degrees out. So I'm giving an alternative way of making the beer can chicken in the kitchen, in the oven, so that when it does get cooler, you don't have to be outside on the grill in the cold. In a day like today, you don't have to be outside in the heat making a meal for your family or you, whatever. So I did go ahead and do a little bit of prep work. So in this pot, I'll be making the base for the baked macaroni and cheese. Yes, we're having baked macaroni and cheese. It's 90 degrees outside, but babe wanted baked macaroni and cheese. Josh wants baked macaroni and cheese. Everybody loves the baked macaroni and cheese, so that's the side we're having with the beer can chicken. So we're having beer can chicken, baked macaroni and cheese, and then we'll have some steamed vegetables, just a cauliflower, broccoli, and carrot mix, I think it is. And I'll probably hit it with a little bit of lemon juice, okay? But we'll get to that. So first thing that you would need is, let me not skip around. Hold on. this pot, this is the size pot that I prepared about a pound of macaroni elbows. Okay, you can use whatever type of short noodle pasta you want. Okay, for me, I like the traditional macaroni elbows, but you can use whichever you like, shells, spirals, pani pasta, you know, whatever you want to use. In this case, I'm using macaroni elbows already cooked. I just followed the recipe or the directions on the box. You do want to make them al dente. Al dente meaning have still a little bit of bite left in them, so that when you mix up all the ingredients for the baked macaroni and cheese and you put it in the oven, then it won't overcook. They won't be smushy and gummy, and nobody wants that. So, or maybe you do, and if you do, this is not the video that you want to watch. But anyway, so pre-cook elbow macaroni elbows. So that was the entire box, which I said is about a pound, right? And then I rinsed them in cold water just to stop the cooking process, okay? And also just to rinse a little bit of the excess starch off, okay? You want to do that. And then I have my 4-cup measuring cup, and I also have my 2-cup measuring cup. And I'll show you guys how much liquid I use. I'm really bad about measurements, y'all. Those that don't know me, I am a chef by trade. I went to school to be a chef. So I don't have it immediately in my mind to measure things, but I'm getting better. I'm trying so that, you know, I can give y'all these recipes. But anyway, we have different types of cheese here. I have Kerrygold garlic herb butter. This is what I'm going to be using to make sort of my roux equal parts of flour and butter, or flour and fat, for the base of the macaroni and cheese. I have Tillamook Colby Jack cheese, which I'm going to end up having to shred because they didn't have the shredded packs at my local Publix. And then I have the Tillamook medium cheddar as well. I also have Sargento 4-state cheddar. So this one has mild sharp, well, a Wisconsin sharp, a New York sharp, a California mild, and a Vermont sharp cheddar. So Publix had these buy one get one. So I went ahead and got that one, and I also got the aged Italian blend. So it's safe to say we have probably like 8 or 9 different cheeses going in this macaroni and cheese. Insert salivating here, okay? Then we have eggs. So you're only gonna need 1 egg, okay? And then I like to use half and half. Once I make my roux, and I'm going to show you guys everything, okay? And that's the reason why we have our wet measuring cups here. All right, for the roasted or beer can chicken. Now, disclaimer: anytime you do beer can chicken, this is the 4-pack, Bud Light. Don't be concerned about the alcohol content, because it's not any, because it cooks out during the roasting process. So you're not going to get drunk off beer can chicken, okay? So one can of beer goes in one chicken, 1 can of beer goes in the other chicken, 1 will go to Babe and 1 will go to Pat, maybe, I don't know. But we don't typically drink in this house. I also have garlic powder, trusty Lawry's. I have coarse black pepper, roasted garlic and herb, onion powder, kicking chicken, and smokehouse maple. So what I did was made like a little dry rub, okay? And in here, I put all my herbs for both chickens. This is more than enough. Because what we're gonna do is I'm gonna mix it up. I've already washed the chicken. I washed the chicken. We cleaned the guts out of it. We washed the chicken with a little bit of, you could do salt water, a little bit of salt water. You could do a little bit of vinegar, a little white vinegar and water. You can do lemon juice and water, but we're gonna wash the chicken, okay? So, and then I have this regular butter, which I like to use to sort of baste it. Beer can chicken is extremely moist. It's like the best rotisserie chicken you ever had. So what I'm gonna do is probably take half of this butter, melt it. The other half I'm gonna put in the cavity of the chicken, because butter is always, you know, it just makes stuff taste better. Okay, there's no equivalent. But so yeah, so let's get started. I got my chickens over here already washed and dried and emptied of all the giblets. So I'm gonna grab the chicken. All right, you need two roasted chickens, okay? 2 roasted chickens, well, for my family size. If you want to split the recipe, you're more than welcome to do so. I pretty much, and I'm just guesstimating, y'all do whatever your taste buds tell you to do as far as seasoning, but this is primarily, I would say, for the seasoning mixes. So let's say these seasoning mixes, I did a teaspoon per chicken. So that's 2 teaspoon, 2 teaspoon, 2 teaspoon. Okay. Tablespoon, teaspoon, tablespoon, tablespoon. So salt, tablespoon, both chickens. Garlic powder, tablespoon. Black pepper. You're going to use whatever you want to use to your taste. I only use a teaspoon because these have a pepper-like substance in it. Both of these have crushed red peppers in it. And then this one has a little bit of black pepper in it, which is the reason why I kick back on this a little bit, okay? Same thing with the salt. If you're going to be using these, you're going to back up off the Lawry's, which is the reason why I use less Lawry's. But if you don't have these, you can do black pepper, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and any type of like aromatic herbs you have. So like thyme and rosemary and stuff like that. If you want to do that, you can omit these with the same measurement and just do your herbs, salt, pepper, and garlic powder and onion powder, okay? That's what you can do. So, you know, this is just what I want to do. I want it to have a smoky sweet flavor. You know, it'll have the beer flavor. It's the hops and the aromatics in the beer that makes it taste like beer, but the alcohol is not present, okay? So I just hand mix this, right? My hands are clean. So this is very, very, very pungent, okay? Roasting chickens, they always have these little temperature gauges right here, right? So when the chicken is done, that'll pop out, all right? For those of you that don't know. All right, so we're going to sit this guy up, right? And I'm going to go ahead and rub him down. And then I'll come back and show you how to sit him on a can. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay. So, while I was away, I melted half a stick of butter here. So this will just be sitting and hanging out. You want to go ahead and preheat your oven to 425. Before you do that though, hold on, y'all, because I'm getting ahead of myself. You're going to take one of these racks out. This is important because the beer can chicken stands up. So if you have your rack in there, you know, it's not going to work. So you got to take one of the racks out. You're going to preheat your oven. And then you might have to even lower a rack if you have them set a certain way in your oven. But in my case, I only have to remove one rack. And I didn't have to lower the lowest rack. So it's perfect setup for what I need. So I'm going to do bake at 425. Alright, so then that's that. I washed my hands as I was in here playing with this little cavity and just tried to clean as I go. That's important. So 1 can, right? This is Bud Light. This is about a 12-ounce can. What do you say, babe?
Should be 16.
Is it 16?
12 ounces short can.
Yeah, she rusty, y'all. She rusty. My measurements is off. So this is a 16-ounce can. It's okay. So what we're gonna do? Typically, you want to use a 12-ounce can, but they didn't have any. What's going on? Yeah, typically you want to use a 12-ounce can, but they didn't have any, so we're gonna use this. You're gonna rinse your can off before you insert them into the chicken. If you don't want to be, you know, putting a can that's been in a
1,000 people's hands.
right in your food. So dry them off. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but after you wash the chicken, you gotta make sure you dry it off real good all throughout the chicken, because you know that's gonna help the skin to crispen as it's in the oven. Okay, you don't want soggy roasted chicken skin. Okay, that's not good. So I'm just gonna pull him up by his neck, right? Oh, my butter. Okay, what I did, y'all, with the other half of the stick of butter is I sliced them in pats and I stuck them down underneath the skin, right? Because I like that crispy, the way that it crisps it. You gonna open your beer can?
Make sure you open the beer can.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, baby. Make sure you open the beer can. You're gonna have exploded chicken in your oven and a big chicken mess if you don't open the beer can. And I know I'm gonna get this question in the comments, so before you start asking, you cannot use a bottle of beer. Okay? You can't. It's so dangerous. So we're gonna slide this puppy on here. Right? Look at that. You go right on there. And this is the reason why you want to use a 12-ounce can, because the 12-ounce can is a little bit shorter. We gonna force feed this thing. Hold on, because I'm hitting this bone right here. Okay. There we go. So he on that. You see that? He ain't going nowhere. He not going nowhere. Okay. So we're gonna do the second one. Y'all, this is a messy thing, but it's so worth it. It's so good, y'all. Okay. And here he go. God dog it. How my butter? I'm gonna do it again. So we're gonna slide him on here. There we go. Little. Alright, just don't wanna go. Hold on, y'all. That's why I should have did this off camera. God dog it. It's a bone right there in his back.
That's what it's hitting on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I edited it.
There it is. There it is. Alright, he on now. He ain't going away either. Alright, so look, y'all. You want to do this in a deeper baking pan, okay? Because as it cooks, yes, some of the beer is going to evaporate, right? But some of it will end up in the bottom of your pan. So you don't want it to end up in the bottom of your oven, and then y'all gonna be mad at me because you got a mess to clean up. So you save yourself some work and put it in a deeper pan, like a roasting pan or something, to make sure that it don't make a mess. Alright, so I fix my butter back in there. We need that. Okay, so we have them standing up. They ready to go in the oven. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick.
Go.
Okay, so I am about to use the pot. This is the same pot that I boiled the pasta in. I'm going to put this entire stick of the garlic herb Kerrygold in it. You can use whatever herbed butter you want to use, but I prefer Kerrygold because it's so rich and flavorful. Now,
There's the intro.
Anyway, so the butter is in here. It's gonna melt. I'm gonna go ahead after it's melted, and I'm gonna add my flour. I only do it in parts because I don't want a stiff, dry macaroni. I like it to be creamy and cheesy, and so that's the reason why I only put a little bit of flour in here, because even though a roux is equal parts flour and fat, I don't want it tight, but I want all my butter in there, if that makes any sense. It'll all make sense in a minute, but I do want the flour to add a little bit more tightness, but I don't want all the butter to be incorporated, if that makes any sense. So I'll show you guys how everything looks. So right now it's melting. You do not want to scorch your butter. You want to put it on. Right now I have it on, like, what is this, 4, right? So that's a medium, sort of medium low on my range, okay? And so you just want to melt the butter for right now. Don't scorch it, watch it, don't burn it. You know, you just want to melt it, okay? So now it's melted. So I'm gonna put this flour here. This is about 1.5 tablespoons of flour I'm putting in here, okay? And you're whisking it because you want to get all the lumps and bumps out, okay? Babe, can you get a close up of this? Can you get a, oh, sorry. So if you can see, it's already has a richness to the butter just with that little bit of flour that I added.
You look this way.
Okay, as you can see, in the other angle, there's already a richness to the butter. I'm gonna turn this down way low, okay? Because you just add enough flour, like I said, 1.5 tablespoons if you're going to use the whole stick, okay? And it just gives it's almost, this, if I put it on a spoon, it will coat the back of the spoon. This is what you want. See that? It coats the back of the spoon. That's how you want that butter flour mixture to be. It's, like I said, it's not quite a roux, but that's what we're looking for, okay? So I wish y'all could smell how good this kitchen smells, babe.
Very good.
So this is our 50/50. I'm gonna put roughly 2 cups, because this is a quart. I'll put 2 cups of 50/50 in our mixture, okay? And you're just gonna whisk it in. What we're doing, y'all, again, is we're making a base. As it heats up, it will thicken because we got a little bit of starch in it. We put the flour in it, okay? Another reason why I like to use the compound butter or the herb butter is because there's not a lot more seasoning that you have to put in there. Like, you know how when you make macaroni and cheese, or those of you that know or don't know, I don't know, you put a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, whatever you feeling to put in your macaroni and cheese. I like to put a little onion powder in mine. Even though this compound butter, I add a little bit extra. So that maybe like 1/2 teaspoon, okay? 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. You want to whisk that in as well. The more you mix your base, the more velvety and creamy your dish gonna turn out, okay? I am gonna put just maybe, let's say, 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, we're gonna whisk that in. I'm gonna crank this up a little bit. so we can get a nice simmer on it, so it can start to kind of thicken that up. Now what we're going to do now is put our shredded cheese in here, but we're only going to put half. Remember in the beginning of the video I showed y'all the 2 sticks of Tillamook cheese, right? Both of those are shredded in this bowl. So what I'm going to do is use half of this in the base. We're just going to use half, okay? Y'all see that? I basically just split the bowl in half, okay? Because we love a good cheesy macaroni. We don't want it, we don't want dry. We don't want stiff. If y'all heard that, that was the oven. So because you have already heated your half and half, your cheese is starting to melt already. Now while that's doing that, I'm gonna grab me a tasting spoon because I like to taste the base before I add anything else. I am going to end up putting a little bit of salt in it, but you want to wait until after you've gotten at least half of your cheese incorporated, because cheese has a tendency to be salty all on its own. So you don't want to over salt or over season your macaroni and cheese. Okay. See how velvety that's getting? Look at that. See, just a little bit. Just a little bit. You grab sea salt. Thank you, baby. You grab a little bit of sea salt. So I would say maybe a half teaspoon, right? Right there. Oop, half teaspoon. You do it to your taste, okay? Some people prefer a little bit more salt. I like to taste my food. I like to taste all of the undernotes and undertones of what's going on with my food. Look at this. See that? Now, again, we test the back of the spoon. Look at that. Nice and creamy. So we're going to turn this heat off of this, right? Because now what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate our macaroni elbows, okay? So again, I told you pre-cooked, already rinsed. We got a nice creamy base for our macaroni and cheese. I'm gonna sit this over here out of my way, and I'm just gonna incorporate our mac and cheese, our elbows into the base. Now this is not the way my grandma and my mama and my aunties taught us how to make macaroni and cheese, okay? This is kind of a detour from that in a way, but it's still good nonetheless. So I'm gonna tell you what I did. I took a little bit of what they taught me, and then a little bit of what I learned in culinary school, and then I incorporated it into this. All right, y'all see how nice and creamy and smooth that is? I'm going to, because I like mine a little bit more wet, and I know that I'm getting ready to put the rest of that cheese in here, I'm gonna add about another cup of half and half because I don't want my macaroni to be stiff and dry. So there we go. I just added another cup. Now some people like theirs a little bit more dense, a little bit more stiff. Still, I mean, it still would be good with this recipe. I just prefer a little bit more of a creamier macaroni and cheese. And I told y'all I have a real bad issue with measuring. Me, I just cook. I take stuff and whip it up. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm putting together until it's done. So, all right, that's that. The other half of your shredded cheese is gonna go in here. You're gonna stir that up, and on top of that, you're gonna put your egg in there. Now, and sometimes I put Worcestershire sauce in there just to give it a little bit of kick. Some people beat their egg before they put it in there. I'm not, because I'm going to stir it anyway. I think I am going to put some Worcestershire sauce. I told y'all, I be winging it. Probably about a tablespoon. Hey. Nah, I'll say a teaspoon. Do a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce if you're going to do it. Okay? Alright, so we're going to move this guy. This is our melted butter for our chicken. Don't forget. This is the little pan that I got for the macaroni and cheese to go into. I sprayed it with a little non-stick olive oil spray. Okay? So we're going to pour our macaroni and cheese in here. Now, baby. Y'all can tell I did this before. I almost got it down to a science, y'all. I promise y'all I do. Now for this one, now here's the thing. We're not going to put this in the oven just yet, okay? We're going to let this one hang out until our chicken gets about 20 minutes from being done. Once our chicken gets about 20 minutes from being done, let me get a sheet. All right, when our chicken gets about 20 minutes from being done, what we're going to do is put this in there, and you're just going to bake it till it's golden brown. And you could do it at 425. Some people do theirs at 350. I do mine at 425. I like it golden. It's already cooked. All you want to do is cook the egg in there and melt the cheese, basically, and get it nice and golden brown. That's pretty much what you're trying to do. And you going in the end, it's going to tighten it up some, obviously, because it's got cheese in it. So when the cheese melts, it's going to tighten it up even more, which is the reason why I put extra that's the reason why I put extra heavy, half and half in. Alright, that's one. And then we're just going to use half of this bag with the Italian mix in. We're just going to use the half. Because we got a ton of cheese in this thing. So. And I put, like I said, I put the sheet tray underneath so that when we put it in the oven, it don't make a mess. Because it is going to boil, just bubble over just a little bit. Cheese tends to do that. So you see, I got it down to a science. I've done this before. So that's our macaroni and cheese. Now, of course, I'm gonna cutify it and pretty it up and put a little bit of dried parsley on top when we get ready to serve it up. But yeah, that's the mac and cheese. We got our chicken in the oven, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how it looks out the oven, and we'll plate it up. Too bad y'all not gonna be able to eat.
How long's the chicken gotta be in there?
Thank you, baby. So the chicken, okay, so we have 2 4-pound oven roast, the oven roaster chickens, right? I would say a good hour and 15, an hour and 20 minutes, okay? But remember I showed y'all the little red peg that's inside the chicken that denotes when it's done, and how it activates is when the chicken is done, the flesh firms up and it pushes it out, right? But you will want to check it with your meat thermometer, get it up to 165 degrees so that it's safe to eat. Any type of germs or whatever is still lingering around even after you wash the chicken is dead, okay? So 165 degrees, the little red peg poked out, and it's golden brown, okay? So when we come back, I'll show you exactly what it looks like. But about an hour, 15, an hour and 20 minutes, okay? We'll be back.
Is that what crazy?
So you guys, here's the finished product. Just some steamed vegetables. You could do, whatever you want to do as an additional side. I usually do, protein, a starch, and a veggie. So you can have whatever you would like. In our case tonight, we're gonna have some steamed vegetables, like I said, with a little bit of garlic and lemon, fresh garlic and lemon in it. But yeah, this is the finished product. As you can see, macaroni and cheese is nice and golden brown. I'm gonna dig into it just real quick so y'all can see. Not gonna cut the chicken yet because the chicken needs time to rest. As you can see, it's still standing up on the cans, but skin is very nice and crispy. Chicken is basically about to fall off the bone. Like literally, I don't even have to use a knife. I can literally pull this wing off, as you can see, without much force of anything. So yeah, we're gonna have a really, really good dinner tonight. If you just take a look at this, here's what I was talking about. Nice and cheesy, just ready to go. So we're gonna let this cool down and rest a little bit, and then I'm gonna get ready to cut it up, serve it up, feed the fam, and yeah, we're gonna sit down and enjoy our meal. But comment below, let me know if there's any recipes you'd like for me to try to prepare for y'all on here, and just let me know if you end up cooking this and whatever variations you do with this dish. You can brush this with barbecue sauce. You can do whatever you want to do. Baste it with whatever sauce of your choice. So, but like I said, tap the bell so you'll be notified every time we post a vlog for y'all. And make sure you subscribe. And thank you again so much for tuning in to our channel. We love you. And until next time, shalom, y'all.